Hello. I want to speak about the word of many Facebook groups. I speak about my experience with the ukulele, which is a musical instrument that was born in the Hawaii Islands, by invented by created by Portuguese furniture makers who adapted and mixed together some other Portuguese instruments like Rijão, Braguinha, and created this new concept of the instrument. The Hawaii were hijacked by the United States. That's a coup d'etat, really. It means they got their hands on this kingdom and colonized up to the point that the real ethnic and linguistic core of the islands got diluted into all other ethnicities like Portuguese, Americans, obviously, Japanese, and other people from the Philippines. That's why Hawaii is a hodgepodge of things, and I don't think this is a good thing. Anyway, so the instrument got is international fame in the United States, in all mainly through the United States to the English-speaking world, mainly England. And is very popular in English-speaking countries and Western countries, for example, in Western Europe. A little bit less where there are other local instruments. So if you go to Greece, there's a bouzouki. In Turkey, bağlama, and other than the ubiquitous guitar, balalaika and other instruments in Russia. So what happens? The core of people who are into this instrument are people who are mainly either Western, that means European, American, Canadian, and even they are part of the Western world, even Israel, Australia, New Zealand. So with what happened in Ukraine, obviously there is a clash of cultures and visions of the world. Obviously, from one side, where people are more conscious of the level of fight, other people that have been told a story, that, and even a history, that we are the good ones, they are the bad ones. We don't exactly know why, because we, as Western world, we wage wars, many wars in the last past decades, and for excuses. There were no American minorities being attacked and bombed, not even European. But we think we are the guardians, the watchdogs of the world. From this point of view, these people accuse me of being brainwashed or reading Russian or listening to Russian media, and I inform them that I don't have access to Russian media because in this free world they think we shouldn't watch it. Why? I mean, if that's bullshit, what's the point? Okay? Obviously, they know that we can have other opinions because other opinions do not depend on controlling and checking facts and developing our own opinion through different voices. No, it depends on propaganda. If you have access to obviously even Russian propaganda, because they call Russian propaganda. I never hear people calling a spade, like Western American propaganda, which is much stronger and wider. The level of attack on and of influence all the European media that is in the Western world is, I don't know, hundreds of times more powerful, firepower than the Russian propaganda. So they accuse me of first of all, if I had access to Russian media, I would have only, what do you say, have access to another point of view, which is not bad, okay? We are not children, we can make and create our own opinions through comparing. When this is a trial, there are two parts, the defense and the accused. But it seems that here you cannot have access to another point of view. That tells a lot about that. Just a second. Then they say there is no freedom in Russia. I don't know what freedom is in Russia. Isn't really. I think that when you go and see other places freedom, you should first watch out for the freedom in your own country. And there is no freedom. There's been no freedom in the last 2 years in Western countries. You know what has been going on. In Russia, you can decide if you want that medical treatment that is experimental or not. We are pushed and even obligated to get that. And that tells a lot about the fundamental freedoms that maybe in Russia you can have problem with saying certain things. Here, in a way, not for the time being, but because it's not a danger. When many people have this dangerous opinions, then it becomes a problem. Obviously, they don't tell you it's a censorship, but I cannot write certain things about this on YouTube. I get threats by YouTube and by even by Facebook, and I don't think there is a complete real freedom. But they play the sanctimonious. They are on a pedestal and on their high horses, and they have the they think they have the monopoly on what is good and what is bad, and they come up and they call me piece of shit. They upload videos where they say Putin is whatever they want to say about a chief of state. Okay, it's a chief of state. You can like it or not. There are some conventions that they think it's Hitler. He is Hitler, but there's no evidence he's Hitler. Actually, Russia has been fighting Nazis since Second World War II. You can accuse Russia of many things, not being Nazis. Okay? NATO has been fostering so-called green colored revolutions all over the place. That means interfering with the internal political internal politics of independent countries. It's none of American business. It's none of European business what's going on in Russia, because you haven't been watching Russians, Russian politicians in Italian or Western protest demonstration or squares. It would be absurd, and we would be up in arms if that happened, but we can't do that in Russia. It's a long story. These people, when I speak about Nazi in Ukraine, when I speak about we don't have access to Russian propaganda, they do not react. They say, oh, it's in Russia. I say, no, it's here. I can show you many evidence that in Ukraine there is a strong Nazi left right-wing component all over the place. They don't want to watch reality. They don't know reality. If somebody came up with good evidence that really Russia is a Nazi country and other, I would be against Russia. I make no bones about that. I'm no Russian, and they cannot accept that somebody who's not Russian doesn't believe the Western propaganda. First of all, you fight your fight at home, and then you fight for the freedom of other people. I find it ludicrous that you fight for Russian freedom when you don't have your freedom at home. Oh, but Russian is worse. I don't give a shit. I cannot fight. Why are you fighting for Russia? No, I'm fighting for Russia because what's going on in Ukraine is going to affect our lives, our access to energy, to gas, our ability to pay for those bills, and even our existence if Russia can drop atomic bombs here. We are playing with fire. And I don't care. I don't want to know all the history of Russian people and Russia. It's dangerous, and we cannot do anything because we cannot intercept intercontinental rockets from Russia. And that's a fact. Okay? So you can be up in arms for Ukraine. Are you ready to give up, to give your life and die in a very bad way for Ukraine? Are you ready to do that? Or you think this is just a game, like something you watch on a screen, it cannot become reality? They said Putin would have never attacked Ukraine, and he did. He said he would lose. He's losing. Today, he conquered Mariupol. I don't know, it has different names. Mariupol. And they say and Ukraine is not this, underdog. They have been providing Ukraine with arms for years. Deadly arms, weapons. Now they play victims. Okay, I know, Russia attacked. Why? And why Russia cannot attack first, but NATO can? Or United States can? You know why? Because they think, Western countries, they think they have the upper hand. But they don't have anymore. The majority of the world is not English speaking, is not Western countries, even from the point of view of money. That's why they are scared and they are attacking, because they are scared of Russia and China and India together. That's a final showdown. It's a final showdown. And this final showdown, I don't want to be on the side of those who caused this, because Russia didn't want a final showdown. China didn't want it. It's America that cannot accept that is going to play a is not going to play the first role in the years to come. And still now it isn't. That's the gist of the matter. All these Ukraine people in a ukulele world are just brainwashed Western people who think they are the shit. And they are not. Goodbye.